Sun in Sagittarius for all zodiac signs. So of course, we're going to be basically going above the horizons, getting full of yourself, getting strong with yourself, getting passionate with yourself, getting reasonable with yourself. So whatever you basically chasing for and aiming for during this season, it got to be high. High. We getting high in this motherfucker. We're going to fly in this motherfucker. And we're going to rise in this motherfucker. And of course, we also got the South Node of Sagittarius right now. So that means past experiences still playing the position. So even if you did plan a good season, Scorpio season, South Node of Sagittarius is going to basically bring some past circumstances and situations that's going to basically pop up in your actions. And of course, the shit that you're basically paying attention to. So this basically means a past circumstance, a past desire, a past influence, a past situation with a person, a past experience that will basically be running around. Also a past situation with whoever you basically associate yourself with. These things is going to basically pop right back up. And what's important is you need to basically play the characteristics of that house, wherever you have your South Node at. And of course, you need to learn how to expand your South Node. Because of course, once you expand it from your past, you ain't got no choice to basically expand with your North Node. So you got to basically learn how to blend in the North Node in Gemini with the South Node of Sagittarius. So of course, it's like an equilibrium exile, where you basically bring the bridge, make sure it's stable, and of course it's balanced, where individuals should be able to actually cross paths, have a different view, have a different perspective, have a different personage. Of course, when we have that different angle, everybody can basically come together like Pringles. And of course, everybody can be able to have the chance to mingle and mingle. And of course, get their salingo dingle going. So now, with this circumstance playing out, Sagittarius season, this is basically the expansion series. So Sagittarius wants you to expand in all shapes, in all areas, and of course in all forms. They don't want to basically get stagnated. They don't want to basically get put into one position. They want to feel free. They want to be a free spirit. And of course, when you're playing out the characteristics of being basically a free spirit, you're attracting all the fruits, all the labors, and of course your spaceship, and of course how you're rising, and of course your UFOs is going above the horizons. It's going above the waters. It's flowing like an ocean. It's flowing like a flow. And of course, when things are flowing and going, moving, tossing and turning, you will never be in a situation of getting lost. You will always be in a situation of finding your direction. And of course, yeah, idealism alone is the GPS. This is basically how it's going to basically rectify and basically point you to certain locations, certain areas, certain atmospheres, certain hemispheres. Of course, it's up to you to rise above. And of course, if you ain't rising above, then of course you're not moving. You're not growing nowhere. And of course, if you're not moving, not going nowhere, you're going to put yourself into a situation of basically paying bad season. When we get in Capricorn season, you won't be able to actually see your status, see your goals, see your intuition. And you didn't rise above. For me, you got to go up, you got to come down. You got to go in, you got to come out. And of course, that's how it plays out on all levels. But in this positioning right here, we're going to basically break down the houses of where you have Sagittarius at, and of course all the zodiac signs that's going to basically be going through the influences when it comes to their actions and the responses to things, of course their personalities in general. Now, for all you Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendances, you guys are going to be basically on the opposite side. Feel me? Also, this is not bad, because this is basically the other side of you. Just more intellectual, more logical, and of course, more adaptive. So now, when we have this perspective here, all Gemini is going to be opposite. This a position, and of course, it's going to put you into a situation of having to adapt. Do what you got to do. Now, Tauruses, you guys are going to overindulge when it comes to the things you value. See, Sagittarius want to expand. Feel free, and of course, that's cool. But also, they don't want to basically get stuck into a routine, stuck into a pattern. So we want to make sure that you're basically expanding your routines and patterns and things you're valuing. Make sure your responsibility is to get that shit up and get it strong, get it going, get it flowing, no matter what it is. Now, Aries, you guys are going to have a gift to be direct when it comes to your experiences and passions, and of course, what you're aiming to go through. You also are experiencing trauma. So be aware of that shit. Also, Tauruses, you are experiencing changes right now. So you're going to be going through misunderstandings when it comes to the changes. People's circumstances, the resources, all that shit changing. Gemini, you're going to have a spiritual purpose to aim towards you. And of course, it's hitting you like a blueprint, like a face print on the goddamn floor. So it's time to get real serious in this position right here. No fucking around. Get serious on how you're basically expanding on what you're trying to do. Also, for all the Cancers, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, the influences that you're going to basically be receiving is misunderstandings when it comes to passions, being a free spirit, and of course, leaving the eggs nests and not getting rooted into home, not being rooted into a homebody. And of course, that's not a situation with a Sagittarius. A Sagittarius love them some Cancers. So of course, it's going to be a situation where the love and the appreciation is going to be misunderstood. You may basically be attracting some misunderstandings in your pursuits when it comes to your happiness and the things that you are fruition. So be aware of that, Cancers. Virgos, you guys are going to be learning how to look at the details of things and expand the details. Look at the bigger picture, not getting lost up in one sections of the coin. So for Virgos, you guys are going to be learning when it comes to this season. Learn how to get about that routine. Learn how to find a new routine where you can basically be focused towards where you're directing your arena in cahoots in this position. Now, for all you Libras, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, you guys are going to be basically having opportunities to expand in relationships and overindulge into relationships. So be aware of that area. You can overindulge in this perspective. Try not to do too much of that. Try to find equilibrium and balance and harmony. You'll be at in this pursuit. Scorpios, you guys are going to be seeing different sides of being direct, being passionate, of course, getting deep when it comes to philosophies, investigations, desires, motives, and of course, alternatives. So be aware of that perspective as well. Now, also, when we get into you, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendants, you guys are going to basically be the arch that shows us how to arch and, of course, point and get that motherfucking turkey for Thanksgiving. You're going to teach us how to get the arch for Thanksgiving. And, of course, you're going to have some fun when, of course, you put that in the oven. Now, Capricorns, you guys are going to have a whole lot of responsibilities when it comes to seeing different points of views, seeing differences, and seeing different occasions when it comes to your status, your career, your goals, and of course, how you're humbling yourself. Humble make the mumble stores. So be aware of that perspective. You're going to be carrying a whole lot of responsibility. And of course, you're going to go through transformation too, because Pluto is also in Capricorn. So you guys are transforming right now or experiencing a whole lot of transformation. So transformation is very, very seductive, very needed in this world. Of course, if you don't know how to transform, then you don't know how to take your power. And of course, Pluto represents power and control, and of course, regeneration, rebirth, and of course, it's like a whole generational thing. So be ready to transform and see the other side of views, points of references, and you're going to be at it. Also, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. You guys have Jupiter in Aquarius, so you're going to have the planet of Sagittarius with you still. And of course, you're going to have opportunities to act on luck, faith, meanings, points of views, and other ways to attack things. Also, you're going to have Saturn in Aquarius, which is responsibilities for how you associate yourself, how you condemn yourself, and how you basically be a humanitarian dealing with social endeavors, and how you associate yourself with individuals. So yeah, you're also you have two planets in your charts right now, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. So be aware of that perspective. And of course, you guys are going to have opportunities to take action towards expanding the horizons and making sure that the water and the rivers is flowing. Also, last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Ascendants. You guys are going to be learning how to expand your imagination, your visions, your dreams, and taking action towards it. Because Sagittarius want to see actions. It's fire. It's going to basically burn into other perspectives and other ways of doing things. So I want to basically see how you can basically pinpoint that, and of course be direct with the situation, be direct with the circumstance, be direct with the angling, and of course it's how you get predicated towards your dreams. You also have Neptune and Pisces. The dreams, imaginations are basically very intuitive at this correspondence, so be aware of that possession. Now, when we're talking about the houses in Sagittarius, this is where the areas where you need to focus, you need to expand, and of course you need to put faith and luck into these areas. And you're going to be out in this position. Now remember, when we get into Capricorn season, you're going to see if your luck was good luck, or you're going to see if your luck was bad luck. So it's up to you to basically have the right luck, have the right ideas, have the right visions, have the right way about going about things, and you're going to be in a right place, right situation, so you basically can accumulate all your fruits and all your labors. We're going to start it off with the first house of Sagittarius Ascendances. You guys, you need to expand your personality, expand your persona, expand your looks, and of course expand how you express yourself. You need to basically take this to a higher notch, a higher perspective, and of course you need to shoot high towards the stars. And of course when you shoot high towards the stars, you're going to get you some good references, some good information. Of course that's how I play down to all positions. Now the second house, you're going to basically, in this position right here with the second house, you're going to be basically seeing other ways to be passionate, determined, and of course having a motive when it comes to valuing new horizons, valuing new things, valuing new passions. You're going to have a thirst for this position right here, which means you can put yourself into a situation of basically overindulging when it comes to the things that you're basically overindulging into, and of course overvaluing. So, of course, if you're valuing something, make sure it has a purpose, a meaning. And, of course, make sure it's not something superficial that's basically valuing your ass in heaven. You don't want to be basically valuing heaven. You want to basically be valuing heaven. Be aware of that. Third house. If you have this in your third house for Sagittarius, you're going to be put into a situation of expanding your environment, expanding your communication, of course, expanding your intellect and how you interact with individuals, which could be friends also, or people, places, and things, neighbors, and in general. You're going to be expanding your surroundings, your environment. Of course, you're going to have no time to basically be pussyfooting. So this is going to be a situation where you need to learn how to basically focus on one thing at a time and not basically be scatterminded. You're going to be out in this position. So also, you're going to basically you're going to be dealing with oppositions too. Because Sagittarius don't really like this house, so be aware of that too. You know, you're going to see opposite with your personality. The fourth house, you're going to basically be putting yourself into a situation of loving, nurturing, and caring, of course, expanding that when it comes to your family, your home, and of course, your privacy. So, of course, you can overindulge into this area. And of course, you can put yourself into a situation of basically having too much space, too much resources. Make sure the resources predicated towards you that have a true meaning, a true purpose. Fifth house, this is basically expanding your creativity, your passions, your goals, and of course, your hobbies. You're going to go to the extremes here, and of course, that's cool. So make sure you're expanding your creativity, and of course, making sure that you're basically pushing forward towards the highest creativity, the highest perception, of course, the highest English. You're going to be like Pringles. Also, with the sixth house, this is expanding your routines, your work ethics, of course, things you do on a day-to-day basis. You need to expand this shit, not get deeply rooted into one way of doing a routine. Expand that shit so you can basically expand how you do things on a day-to-day basis. Seventh house, you're going to be expanding your relationships, of course. You're going to be basically going to the extremes on how you relate to people, places, and things. Of course, having a new persona. Eighth house, you're going to be expanding your passions, your desires, of course, your will towards something that you basically are trying to get in tune with. You can be very loving, very nurturing, very caring about your desires. Make sure you're expanding these desires, and of course, not getting too lost into the old desires, and you're going to be all right. Ninth house, you're going to be expanding your principles, your morals, of course, how you see things, and of course, when it comes to the reality. Make sure you come down to reality, not basically be in a situation, basically be flying like an eagle, too much astral projector, but you're not astral traveling, by basically coming down to the experiences. 10th house, you're going to be expanding your passions, your goals, your status, and of course, how you're seen in the world, and of course, you're going to be put into a situation of being open. So make sure you're expanding your status. Of course, you're going to be experiencing responsibilities in these areas. You're going to basically be pushed into this area. So you need to basically take care of your responsibilities to get situated, and of course, you're going to be all right. 11th house, you're going to be expanding your associations, how you associate yourself into the public, and of course, dealing with the unseen, the unforces. You're going to be expanding this area. And, of course, you need to expand your associates. If your association is not trying to expand with you, you need to get away from these motherfuckers. Last but not least, 12 hours. You're going to be expanding your dreams, your imagination, of course, your faith, and your spirituality. Make sure that shit is expanding every day. And, of course, that's a learning process.